Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. A couple of days ago, I posted this poll: how many XRP holders have cost averaged their XRP? And the two options were above today's price and below today's price. I did it purposely on this day here, guys, when we saw XRP drop down nearly to 50 cents. Although by the time the poll was posted, XRP was trading somewhere in and around here, so 56, 57 cents. Right now, we have an XRP trading at around 0.568. And despite the turmoil in the market, it looks as though most XRP hodlers are actually cost average below today's price, which should mean that you guys are already in profit. Give yourself a round of applause. 75.5% of XRP holders and 24.5% have cost averaged above today's price. Maybe we're not able to get into the market at the appropriate time, or maybe just FOMO'd in when we did get that SEC lawsuit verdict when XRP was trading upwards near 75, 85 cents, whatever it was. The fact of the matter still remains, though, even though we did wick down quite a bit, the XRP chart, guys, is still maintaining its level of support here. You guys can see, actually, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Let me clear some of this off the chart, and I'm just going to throw it on automatic. You guys can see if I throw a trend line on the chart, you can see that, even though we did wick down, we are actually still forming what is looking like positive momentum moving upward. So not breaking down past this trend line here. Of course, this wick does denote, the greater market crash that we saw for the rest of the crypto market. If I bring up Bitcoin here, you guys can see Bitcoin is also still holding on. This is Bitcoin on the daily. However, look at the hourly, guys. And I know some of you guys were second-guessing the crash when you started to see the trend move up again. Who was getting excited when they started seeing this? Of course, what happened after that? Another downturn with a violent red candlestick. And, the trend is continuing, starting to move up, move down, and we're going to see a bit of sideways momentum probably for a while. Interesting to note, though, that if we throw a Fibonacci on here, look at where we got, guys. Whoops. I put two Fibonacci's on there. Let me throw one Fibonacci on here. Look at where we got, guys. Right in and around here, the 0.702 before the Bitcoin trend broke back down and started moving again back to the downside. So the 0.702 here before we saw that violent red candlestick come crashing down yesterday. And now I believe it's going to be difficult to get up past that. So I don't know, maybe some sideways trading. Again, I will be letting my Patreons know at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel what my next moves are going to be. I'm going to be posting whether it's a video or a post in real time, demonstrating what trades I'm going to be making. Probably one last ditch effort to get into this market because the market is already ramping up. We're seeing positive momentum. 2024 is only going to get better. There is a bit of renewed confidence. Yesterday, we were seeing, the market in the 60s, and now today it is 70 for greed and fear. We've got a mix of red and green candlesticks here on the chart, although, not too much in terms of gains. We're really just kind of climbing back up out of the big hole from yesterday. And so when it comes to that XRP Bitcoin chart, guys, this one courtesy of DJ Peter Vass, we've been talking a little bit about this now recently on the channel. It isn't a trend that I generally do talk about, but near the tops of bull markets, there are more people, more investors that tend to monitor this more closely. So in this particular post, Crypto Insight, a prominent market analyst pointed out the crucial trend for XRP, the XRP to BTC chart. He focused his attention on the latest analysis of the XRP against Bitcoin chart, where specific indicators have been instrumental in indicating a potential surge in price. So we talked about this the other day, that surge in price there. What he is saying, though, is that XRP could rally upwards of 100% once it does hit that level of support there. Can I click on this? No, that doesn't expand. I'm going to show you guys the chart up here. So this is the chart on the daily, the XRP to BTC chart. And what we have seen in the past, even though we have dipped down past this level of support, which we have done again here at this point, we did wick down. We were hugging that support level, and now we're kind of just right below that. What has happened, though, in the past is that, so if I bring this down, just bring it down a little bit here. If history were to repeat itself, what we would find is that XRP could rally. So in this case, it did rally 118%. Back in here, let's actually take it from the bottom of the trend. Back in here, it did rally about 120%. So where could we see XRP, guys? We could see it rallying if we do see, lift off somewhere in and around here, could we see another 120% gain for XRP? So that is what he is saying here. Of course, back in January 2018, we did see XRP's all-time high of $3.31, and then back in April of 2021, $1.96. Of course, there are some factors still at play here. And I mean, all things considered, if all things remain the same, if we did see an XRP rally about 120% from today's price, check this out here, 120% would bring us roughly in and around here, which would in fact hit this resistance from back in November of 2021 for the XRP cryptocurrency, bringing us to a price of roughly $1.25. So that should be the next stop. I mean, we did see that 95-cent range over here during the SEC lawsuit. So maybe a pump up to $1.25 next in the cards. If that were to happen, I think it would probably take a couple of months. XRP drops also bringing us this. We did get some more information from the guys that released that Matrix Port document explaining their position on the spot Bitcoin ETF, how they were, a little negative on the Bitcoin ETF. They kind of stepped it back a little bit. Here's Marcus Thielen, head of research and strategy at Matrix Port. Listen to this.
Expect that eventually these ETFs will be approved. We just think there is like a key component potentially missing in the approval process, but it might be pushed out a couple of months. So we're not saying this is never going to happen. We just think that it might not be all fulfilled what the SEC is really looking for. And in that case, it might, take a couple of more months. But I think then we expect really the market really to broaden out and, to rally. And as I said, we probably make a new high by then.
So, I mean, it sounds like a fairly reasonable assessment here. We don't think it's going to be approved right away, says Marcus Thielen. And he says, there's probably still going to be some things that have to be resolved. It's going to take some time. All things that really shouldn't have gotten the price of Bitcoin to plummet. But guys, we've got some other counter opinions here. This one courtesy of ISO 20022 from Jacqueline Malenik. Okay, Bitcoin Magazine did just repost her tweet here. Head from sources extremely close to the matter that the Bitcoin spot ETF is going to be approved by the SEC for multiple firm applications. And she said, yesterday, expect something tomorrow. So it is still fairly early as I'm recording this video. The day really has not started. So could we see something today, January the 5th? I guess we'll have to see. Pegah Solani from Ripple linked an article, I think this was on her LinkedIn, that predicts wider adoption in non-G7 markets. Now, guys, again, this is Pegah Solani, product at Ripple. And it's funny that, is it funny or is it just telling? That, a lot of these Ripple employees, they've been penning articles and, giving their opinions on, broader crypto regulation and, regulatory structure globally, which tells me that they are, that they want to position themselves, that they want the optics to look like, look at Ripple. We are the most regulated crypto company. You can trust us for your global financial needs. I mean, we know Ripple does have a bunch of stablecoin projects on the go, including their Palau stablecoin and a handful of others. Here's the American Banker article, Who Will Drive Stablecoin Innovation in 2024? So it gives a bit of a synopsis on what stablecoins are. But what's changing this new year is that stablecoins are expected to integrate with customer platforms. That would lead to massive growth, since these customer platforms will make stablecoins more available outside of the traditional world for crypto investors, according to Bernstein. The firm did not return a request for comment by deadline. So mainstream payment companies like PayPal are increasing their exposure to stablecoins. That's the other thing. While companies such as Circle are building partnerships with firms that can provide scale. For example, Circle's latest roster of partners include firms with millions of users. Many of these stablecoin companies are partnering with big financial institutions. And then we have those kind of traditional alternative payment companies like PayPal, which has been around for 20 plus years. And they're already, they're adopting stablecoins too. Of course, we've got MasterCard, Visa, and their partnerships, public partnerships with Circle and Ripple. So a lot going on here. But, I thought it was very, very telling. And, the guys over there at Circle are doing the same kind of thing, talking about global regulation, stablecoins. So not so much within their wheelhouse. I mean, I guess when it comes to Ripple, well, I guess we could say Ripple does work on CBDCs for countries. So it is part of what they do. Nevertheless, the optics here, guys, the Ripple employees coming out discussing global regulation. This could only bode well for XRP coming into 2024. At least that's how I view it. So wanted to thank XRP Drops for posting that. Another one here from XRP Drops. This has to do with Ripple partners TRM Labs. We're going to see more crypto criminal cases. In criminal prosecutions, bad actors always follow the money. At some point, every prosecutor and every investigator is going to understand how to track and trace crypto, because just like cash, crypto will be in every case. This is how ubiquitous it's going to be. Listen to this.
What's interesting is we're seeing the ecosystem evolve, right? And it's the lawful crypto ecosystem. It's growing. And as the year ends, 2023, I think we're seeing tremendous growth in the space. We're seeing institutions get involved. That means we're going to see more and more crypto in criminal cases, in criminal prosecutions, because bad actors always follow the money. And there's going to be more and more transactions in crypto. What we've seen over the last decade really is a cadre of US and global law enforcement who are tracers, who use tools like TRM to trace and track the flow of funds and build investigations. The Department of Justice today has a national cryptocurrency enforcement team. I think that at some point, every prosecutor is going to need to understand how to track and trace crypto. Every investigator is going to understand how to track and trace crypto, because just like cash, crypto will be in every case. And I think we're just starting to see that. TRM recently did a study with mostly US law enforcement, but globally. And it basically says that we're seeing more and more crypto in cases today. And I think that's a trend that we're going to continue. The IRSCI, one of the most important investigators in the crypto space, just did their sort of top 10, their billboard charts of money laundering crimes in 2023, or money laundering cases. 4 of the top 10 involve cryptocurrency. So the reality is we're seeing more crypto in cases, and prosecutors and law enforcement are needing the tools and the training to track and trace those funds. So to answer your question, I think we're going to see a lot more of this, but we're going to see more and more expertise also from law enforcement.
So it's not the fact that more and more criminals are just using cryptocurrency. It's because cryptocurrency is becoming more popular that more criminals are deciding to go with something outside of traditional ways of laundering money, i.e. cash or traditional banks. So, another case for, crypto adoption just continuing to grow into 2024. Not to mention, market makers have been preparing for months to ensure the crypto market has enough liquidity for this flood of investment. It's always been top priority for Ripple too, having that liquidity in the market to start kind of really utilizing cryptocurrency. This is going to be I think the number one driver for any crypto project. You have to have liquidity there, whether it's for trading, whether it's for any kind of real world application. So it's been months of preparing to be able to provide the necessary liquidity to ensure sufficient liquidity should the SEC approve a Bitcoin exchange traded fund. They're also finding this for that Bitcoin investment. If that happens, a flood of investment money looks poised to pour into the cryptocurrency market in the US. The Security and Exchange Commission does as expected and approves Bitcoin ETFs from a dozen or so firms in the next few days, as virtually everyone, crypto savvy or not, does want to eventually get into crypto. So just thought I'd bring that up too. The liquidity issue is going to be important. And so these guys are preparing for it because they know tons of money is going to come flooding in. For institutional adoption, a lot of these guys are going to be custodying through companies like Metaco. But for you and I guys, a cold wallet storage solution like a Ledger Nano, that has been our go-to. At least it's been my go-to. And Ledger has now come out. They've made the official statement. There was a hack a couple of weeks ago, and they are going to reimburse all victims. So if you guys did fall prey to this hack, the total value of the crypto was only about $600,000. But Ledger has said that they will reimburse the $600,000 to the victims of the crypto wallet hack. Reimbursement for victims of crypto wallet hack and changes to device security. So they've also updated their systems. The crypto bull cycle has already begun. So guys, just be prudent, just be careful. Ledger has never let me down. I know, some people are negative on the Ledger Nano wallet because of the recent hack, but to be honest with you, I have never had a problem with them. I've checked my Ledger balance. That is where I keep my XRP, and all my XRP has been safe there since 2017. Knock on wood that nothing happens. And if you do want, to keep your crypto somewhere safe, I do have an affiliate link for the Ledger Nano in the description of every video I do. You can use it if you want. You don't have to use it. Guys, this crypto bull run is ramping up though, so we should be very careful where we custody our crypto. Back to the Bitcoin ETF story for a bit. Bitwise Invest, they did a survey, of financial investors, and they found that access to crypto is the major barrier for adoption. Here's Eleanor Terrett on a Zoom call doing a bit of an interview here. Listen to this.
Now it's not just easy to be able to buy it, it's also safe. Because if you think about the publicity that crypto's gotten over the last few years, especially in the last year or two, especially with FTX and all the negative headlines, crypto is historically volatile, but also it's gotten some bad press, rightly so, with people like SBF floating around. So people who aren't as familiar with it are going to look at it and say, it's a risky asset, it's speculative, I could make a quick buck, but in the long term, am I really going to think of it as part of my portfolio? But now with these Bitcoin spot ETFs potentially getting approved, you've got the SEC signing off on it, you've got lawmakers signing off on it essentially. So that provides reassurance, I think, for people who before were like, oh, it's just a speculative asset that's fleeting, it's not here to stay. I think this really does establish it as part of the public's investing future.
Let's get back to some of these survey numbers, okay? Because these are actually quite staggering, okay? She says access to crypto is a major barrier to adoption, with only 19% saying they're able to buy it for clients. 88%, though, that are interested in Bitcoin say they're waiting for the ETF to be approved before buying in. So you can see why, they need to make this thing liquid, right? As I was mentioning here from the ISO 20022 post, these markets need to be liquid in order for institutions to come in, because guys, we're not talking hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. We're talking billions with a B, and that could ramp up over the next decade or so. So, they are looking to get into this. Institutions want to buy the ETF. They don't want to buy physical Bitcoin. This is going to be the future of cryptocurrency, and, the market will likely take off along with Bitcoin. So, in the past, we have talked about these exorbitant price predictions, talking about, with utility, XRP could see easily 3 digits, and that is with utility. But even just in a speculative market, if we do see inflows, we do see high demand for Bitcoin, this automatically, historically it's happened this way, but this will automatically push all cryptos up very, very high. And, when Brad Garlinghouse has said 99% of cryptocurrencies will fall to the wayside, I'm thinking that's going to happen in the future, with this regulatory clarity. Governments are cracking down on all the other cryptocurrencies that they see as security offerings, and it will be only a handful of cryptocurrencies that do very, very well. Speaking of Eleanor Terrett, though, did you guys see this from Michael Branch? Fox journalist Eleanor Terrett recently hinted at a possible investigation of an earlier proposal suggesting the Federal Reserve could buy XRP back at $30,000 per token. So Terrett disclosed this while responding to digital asset investor. Notably, Jimmy Valley, managing director at Valhalla Capital, recently asked former Ethereum advisor Steven Narioff if Terrett showed interest in Narioff's expose on Ethereum. And apparently mum was the word. We really didn't get a response here. Narioff, who had several stories to tell, could present his case at a large platform such as Fox for a wider reach. However, this has not materialized. I guess they're getting Eleanor Terrett to try to run the story. Valley's recent inquiries aim to bring the possibility of such a presentation back to the public's attention. In response, though, digital asset investor pushed to have Narioff on Fox. According to this anonymous influencer, the multinational television channel should be interested in presenting the alleged story behind the Ethereum DAO hack being an insider job. Eleanor Terrett did respond. She responded to the digital asset investor's latest remark on the incident, emphasizing that her list of stories to investigate this year contains the Ethereum DAO hacks as well as the controversial ETHgate story. But Terrett went further to mention that her list also contains the proposal suggesting that the U.S. Federal Reserve could buy back XRP at $30,000 per token. Interestingly, this proposal was presented by Jimmy Valley in 2021. You probably have some knowledge on this if you're new to this space. I will link a video I did about that up here in the top right-hand corner. And so, guys, this is what Eleanor Terrett did say. It looks like, or, at least purported, that she may have some information, or that she is going to be digging in, or already currently digging into some information on this $30,000 XRP token buyback, exposing it as potential fraud. The DAO hack and ETHgate are on my list of potential fraud stories to look into this year. Digital asset buy, as well as a couple of others, including a $30,000 per token Federal Reserve buyback for an asset that's currently trading at 59 cents. Ouch. Toasty here also commenting, y'all should inquire why Eleanor Terrett was blocking myself, Jimmy Valley, and PLR 2024, which is Patrick Riley, for asking questions. Toasty here did ask Eleanor Terrett. Eleanor Terrett replied to me a long time ago that she had to do her due diligence on Steve Narioff before reporting, but it has been nothing but crickets ever since. A long time ago, as in September, responds Eleanor Terrett. Bearing in mind, I took more than a month out for health reasons, and I have been somewhat busy covering several other real-time events in this space, on top of my job as a producer and being a research assistant on my boss's book. Okay, so she blocked Toasty. Toasty responded here, have you ever heard of ETHgate? Talk about government and bankster corruption at the highest level, such as JP Morgan, the SEC, and even Senator Warren. The rabbit hole goes very deep. The herdsman down here saying bosses told her to. I've not been blocked and been dunking on her and the boss all afternoon. Toasty says, oh, I know. So Eleanor Terrett here sounds as though she's going to be looking into some of these stories. Stephen Narioff saying, take notes, folks. We are bringing forth the truth this year. Nothing holding us back. So just going back, kind of glazing over the fact that, she's going to be looking into the $30,000 per XRP story. It won't go past Stephen. She's not an editor, says Noel. Doesn't have her own show and doesn't get to decide on what she reports on. Her boss is Charles Gasparino. I think she's a good journalist, but she has shackles and will not be released. Stephen Narioff responding here, can only suppress the truth so much. More will follow suit and continue covering ETHgate among many other claims. But Crypto Eddie also brought up the fraud story, fraud in capital letters there. I can't wait for the fraud story on a $30,000 per token Federal Reserve buyback XRP. And PMA XRP down here saying the buyback wasn't fraud. As far as I can see, stupid, fanciful, ridiculous, improbable. Yes, but where was the fraud? Serious question here. Where was the fraud? And Crypto Eddie does respond here with a dictionary definition of fraud. Wrong or criminal deception intended to result in financial or personal gain. Moon Lambo here also agreeing, ditto. I mean, I don't know. Utility down here commenting the buyback theory was almost immediately and universally dismissed as ridiculous and was clearly the opinion of a few writers. Financial gain and certainly on the mind of anyone dreaming that big. But no matter how irrational or unreasonable it was, I do not see wrongful or criminal deception at play here, he says. So a debate, guys, two sides to this story. I don't know, is Eleanor Terrett going to be digging up something on the XRP buyback, the $30,000 token proposal that we've been hearing about since 2021? What I know, guys, is that I'm not holding out for a $30,000 XRP. I mean, if it happens, it happens. That's why I'm keeping a portion of my XRP for the long term, but I'm going to be trading out pretty much my entire portfolio this time around. For more details, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.